All right, guys, how's it going? So I have been to the cafe this morning and I have reviewed today's Spanish football dailies for you. And there's a lot to go through, to be honest with you. So much so that I'm going to have to record some individual videos about some of the different things. Otherwise, this video would be forever. And this is supposed to be like a summary. So let's get stuck into it. There'll be a live stream on here at 12 noon today, but I'm not sure when this video is going to get on. But hopefully I'll catch up with you at some point. All right, guys? So what I will say to you is there's nothing in this video to do with Trent Alexander-Arnold and Real Madrid. And there's nothing to do with anything to do with Mo Salah or Virgil van Dijk. In terms of contract news or rumours, things like that. So, but there is a lot of stuff in here that touches on Liverpool stuff. That's the only reason I review the Spanish papers, is to do with any Liverpool related things. Okay, so Huijsen dominates the front page of Marca today, as you can see behind me. The 19-year-old centre back is of interest to Liverpool. Liverpool scouts have been following him closely for some time. No, they really have. We don't just say anything on here. The thing is, Liverpool insiders claim that the club are interested in a possible recruitment attempt. But I'm going to give you my honest opinion. I'll believe it when I see it, to be honest with you. The last thing I was told that was there's no sign of any movement at this time. And that's really disappointing for me because I really like this player. And the thing is, I mentioned it in my morning briefing today, I think, on my other YouTube channel, youtube.com/Duncan Oldham. This is the sort of player that an elite club should be going for. And I think that, a week ago, he wasn't really on the world stage. Like people in the Premier League knew about him, people were talking about him. But he's since been called up by Spain. And Marca, as you know, if you follow my my daily reviews of the Spanish papers, have just gone all in on this kid. This is probably about the 5th or 6th time they've done some, I wouldn't say exclusive feature, but really bigged him up. Do you know what I mean? He's on the front page of Marca. And they did this as well just before he got the call up. It was like, do you hope to get called up? They had a sit-down interview with him. He didn't get called up. He got called up when another player was injured and then was added to the squad. So there's a lot of interest in him. And I think if Liverpool really do want this kid, then they're going to have to act fast because it sounds like Real Madrid are showing some real interest in him. But the thing is, Real Madrid, they've got Asensio and they've got some other youngsters coming through. They're saying there's interest in him, but he wouldn't be considered like a priority to Real Madrid, which could leave a door open for someone else. The thing is with Liverpool, I think our expectations are managed to the point where we would go, well, £50 million on a 19-year-old centre-back. Nah, let's think about... We should be absolutely going for this kid. Anyway, that's just my opinion. So basically, the front page is Impacto Huijsen, which basically means the Huijsen impact. They say that he has proven that his signing was a complete success. They emphasize signing. Obviously, he hasn't signed for Spain, but he was born in the Netherlands, came to Spain when he was 5, and he's now made his way to the seniors, if you like. It also says on the front page, La Roja, the Reds, or the Red, has found a player who could define an era. Cubarsí's injury opens the door for him to become a starter tomorrow when Spain play the Netherlands in the reverse leg, the second leg, in that UEFA Nations League quarter-final. A game that I'm going to tomorrow at the Mestalla in Valencia. The game's a sellout as well, so I'm really looking forward to going to that. So the article that is, if you were to go inside, this obviously the front page is about him. The article inside is titled "The Star is on the Way." They say that he played like a veteran and showed that his signing was a success when he debuted against Netherlands earlier in the week. As I've just said, this is the 4th or 5th article by Marca on Huijsen, who are absolutely raving about him at the moment. and other publications are also showing him respect too. Jose Felix Diaz, he wrote this article about him. He's my go-to for Real Madrid news. All right, so when there's things about Trent Alexander-Arnold that we've touched on over months and months and months and months on here, he's the one that I look out for, Jose Felix Diaz. And he writes, it only took Dean Huijsen just under an hour on the pitch to get the entire football world to agree that Spain has managed to find a centre-back for more than a decade. His debut for the senior team could not have had more than enough factors against him to cast doubt on his ability, but the truth is that the Malaga native demolished them all one by one, making it clear that there is a player with enough character and football to believe that Spain has made a great signing with the arrival of the Bournemouth player. They add, in recent days, Marca has already reported on the interest the centre-back is generating at Real Madrid. He's been followed, by other teams as well, at many other teams. His play doesn't go unnoticed, something that will only increase after what was seen in Rotterdam. I do apologise if my voice is a bit croaky. I'm not too good at the moment. So that was the front page of Marca, and then if we go to AS here is also on the front page here. That's dedicated to Huijsen and Martin Zubimendi. They convince is more or less the headline here. And it says here, Huijsen, and you can't see it, but there's some little text, the little taglines, if you like, with the headline. Huijsen and Zubimendi are on Real Madrid's agenda for this summer. That's interesting, the Zubimendi one, because everyone thinks he's off to Arsenal, after his failed move to Liverpool last summer. The Daily Mail were the ones that ran this exclusive, if you remember, or that exclusive a couple of months ago with really bold claims. We're not a speculative exclusive. More or less, it was done. He was off there, he'd agreed to go there. That was quickly denied in Spain. But AS here, the Real Madrid media, if you like, the Madrid-based media, they're saying that here that Zubimendi and Huijsen is on Real Madrid's agenda for this summer. It also says their performances with the national team in Rotterdam were highly appreciated by the coaching staff and the club. Arsenal is a possible rival in the bidding for the Real Sociedad midfielder. Again, this is a tag on here. The related piece for this regarding these two is quite lengthy. So I'm going to record separate videos about Huijsen and Zubimendi after this one. Otherwise, the roundup will be very long. And remember, if you're not interested in Zubimendi, don't watch the fucking video, right? The clue will be in the title. Anyway, inside here, there's also another article about Huijsen. So there's the front page, and then inside there's the main feature about these. And then there's another one, like another opinion piece. And it says, Huijsen, 19, confirmed on his debut. All the praise he has received at Bournemouth, he left a barbaric impression. So, Sport, the pro-Barcelona newspaper, they have an article on Huijsen, which is titled, Huijsen, the Dutch diamond who shines with Spain. Like I just said, I'm going to touch on Huijsen in another video after this one, so I won't go over that now. Staying with sports, they have an article on Milos Kerkez. I think that's how you pronounce his name in his native language. And state that Liverpool are one of the clubs interested in him. They're linking for the first time with Real Madrid. I know that there's been some reports in England, the clickbaiters, aggregators, Twitter twats saying that Kerkez has been linked with Real Madrid in Spain. He hasn't, but he has today. He's been mentioned today by Sport. That's the first time I've seen anything, and I review the papers every day, all four Spanish football dailies. But bear in mind that this is not that one, sorry, Sport that we're talking about is a pro-Barcelona newspaper. So would they, necessarily know what's going on at Real Madrid? I doubt it. I think it's more of an article touching on widespread online rumours, like that all of us are subjected to, that we see. So, it's the first time I've seen Kerkez mentioned in the Spanish football dailies. But like I say, the link with Real Madrid, I think that's just Sport saying, oh, he's linked with them as well. But I think that's just because they've seen it online like the rest of us. After touching on Huyson in the article, at Bournemouth, Sport writes less noticed, though not for long, is the jet who charges down the left flank game after game. Liverpool, Real Madrid and Chelsea, for now, are all keeping a close eye on him. So I am going to go over Milos Kerkez in a separate video for you today. Okay, guys? Otherwise, this video is going to go on forever. Now, Mundo Deportivo, which is this one. Do you recognise this gentleman here? He's over here as well, look. Again, Mundo Deportivo is a pro-Barcelona publication. The front page features Luis Diaz, amongst other players, of course, and basically says Objetivo Extremo, which is objective extreme in footballing terms. This refers to an attacking player or a winger whose main role is to create and score goals from wide positions on the pitch. The term extremo refers to an extreme or winger in Spanish, typically someone who plays on the flanks. And the text accompanying the front page here says Barca wants to gain more attacking imbalance down the left wing and have several candidates for the position. Diaz is the preferred option. Leo and Lookman hope that the Blaugrana, Barcelona, make a move. And there's also Williams, Nico Williams, they mentioned, has a release clause. This is in this little text here. So Diaz is the preferred option, that's what they're saying, but these are also maybe ones that Barcelona will be looking at. Again, the Diaz stuff is a substantial write-up, which I will touch on in another video. So there's lots for you today. But in summary, to save you wasting your time watching that, they say that Diaz is willing to wait for Barcelona to fulfill his dream. And if Barca were to go for him, he would not hesitate to force an exit from Liverpool. If Barca opens a door for him, the Colombian international would not hesitate to opt for the Barca club, of which he has been a fan since childhood. And also in here, it mentions about his, the feelings of his father and his connections, like his desire of Barcelona and love for Barcelona, and implying that that's also relevant to Diaz wanting to go and play for them. Also, finally, there was a snippet. There was a Van Dijk. I was like, oh no, what's this? There was a Van Dijk article. He was there in his international colours. They have a write-up about him accompanied with a photo of him in his international colours, sorry, like I just said. But that was to do with him praising Barca's Pau Cubarsí. He was talking about the Barcelona player and just talking about Van Dijk's praise of him. So that's what I'm going to give you in this roundup. There is, like I said, this video. I'm going to do some standalone videos now, focusing on the different players that I've mentioned, because there is some articles that I think may be of interest to you. But to put them all into one video would be too long, I think, and maybe some people are just not interested in all those different players. Again, it's all Liverpool related. When I do the review of the Spanish papers, it's not to tell you what's happening in Spain. I'm just talking about existing transfer speculation concerning Liverpool Football Club, either our players or players that we're being linked with here. And also, of course, we touch on former Liverpool players that do play in Spain as well, because I know people are interested in that. Okay, so I'm going to leave you with that, guys. If you appreciate the video, please thumbs up the video. If you've got any comments on anything that's in this video, please drop me your opinions. If you want to buy me a coffee, then you can hit the super thanks button. It's the love out under the video, and I will of course give you a shout out in tomorrow morning's morning briefing on my other channel, youtube.com/Duncan Oldham. There's also plenty of information in the video description, which will tell you how you can join the channel, join the newsletter, and connect with me on social media and things like that. So I hope this video was bearable. Like I say, I have got a bit of a chesty thing going on at the moment. There was a lot of information, a lot of notes there, so I hope I delivered it okay for you and gave you a good idea, of what's being claimed here. I think it's the first time I've seen suggestions that Diaz would force a move out of Liverpool to get that move to Barcelona. Like we see, the Twitter twats and all that, they'll come out with like, Barcelona want Luis Diaz. We know that we've been talking about this for fucking ages, haven't we, guys? And it's obvious that that he does want to go there, and Barcelona would like him, and I think he remains, one of their primary targets for the summer. But of course, they can't, and this is important. Some people think Barcelona have got financial problems; those were resolved. But they still got to follow this 1-1 rule in La Liga, which is, if you want to spend 50 million euros, you've got to get 50 million euros in. Now, that 50 million euros includes a contract, right? So say 20 million or something, 70 million euros in total. They've got to get 70 million euros back. They have to show that in the books. So to make a move for any of these players, including Diaz, they've got to get, they've got to sell. They've got to get the money in, or, it's got to be 1 for 1. Just think of it like that. For every euro spent, you've got to earn a euro. Don't fall for anyone telling you that they're in this massive debt situation, which was all that was talked about in the. Let's not word it like that. If anyone says to you, Barcelona can't buy anyone because they're broke, that's how they're going to word it. It's not true. All right, that was resolved because of the selling the corporate things at the new Camp Nou. So. Anyway, I'll leave it with you guys. Like I say, thumbs up the video. Drop me a comment if you've got any opinion on this stuff. I will work on these other videos now, which you might find of interest. But if not, I think I've probably told you what you need to know in this video, to be honest with you. All right, have a great weekend, and I'll speak to you real soon.